Go!
Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Don't let him die in detention. Ozekome writes Buhari appeals for Kanu'S release. Don't let him die in detention. Ozekome writes Buhari appeals for Kanu'S release. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. Mike Ozekome, counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to order the release of his client. Kanu has been in DSS custody for over 14 months since his arrest and extradition from Kenya to Nigeria. He is on trial for treasonable felony. In July, the United Nations Human Rights Council Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, in a 16-page report, had indicted both Nigeria and Kenya government for the arrest, torture, and continued detention of the IPOB leader. The group also urged the federal government to ensure the immediate release of Kanu unconditionally and pay him adequate compensations for the arbitrary violations of his fundamental human rights. In a letter on Monday, Ozekome asked Buhari to order Kanu's immediate release through a more productive political solution. Ozekome said Buhari can order Kanu's release in line with Section 174, which gives the Attorney General of the Federation AGF powers to discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by him or any other authority or person. You can do this by instructing the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation to wield his powers under Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution to enter a null prosecu. This will immediately halt the present restlessness and sit-at-home mantra currently ravaging the southeast and paralyzing business and normal life, Ozekome said. While noting that Kanu's extradition was carried out illegally and arbitrarily without due process, the senior lawyer said a dispassionate consideration of the report of the UN body will bear eloquent testimony to a litany of grave errors which Kanu's abduction and his continued detention and shabby treatment since then by officers and men of the Nigerian XSS constitute. All these cumulatively constitute not only gross violation of our client's fundamental right under international and Nigerian laws, but even more worrisome, cast an altogether avoidable pall on Nigerians' image in the international community, the letter reads. To refuse releasing Kanu unconditionally and immediately is to cut international displeasure and multifaceted backlash. It will hurt Nigeria badly, as it will also insinuate that Your Excellency does not subscribe to the rule of law and respect for citizens' fundamental rights, and your postulations and of the just ended United Nations General Assembly UNGA, which took place between 20th and 23rd September 2022. Your Excellency must avoid these unhealthy reactions by ensuring that Kanu is released immediately and unconditionally now. The moral burden of insisting on keeping Kanu in detention is too expensive and too offensive to embrace, especially with his fragile and deteriorating health condition, which his custodians, the SSS, have not been able to manage properly. Do not let Kanu die in detention, sir. Ozekomel also said Buhari would be writing his name in gold by ensuring the release of the detained IPOB leader. Your Excellency, the whole world has spoken through the UN Human Rights Committee. The message is quite clear. Nnamdi Kanu must be released forthwith unconditionally. To insist on detaining him in defiance of the world would be at a great price, which is better avoided, the letter reads. Suffice it to say, Your Excellency, that just like in the earlier case of Umaru Diko, your government risks turning Nigeria once again into a pariah state, simply on account of this avoidable conundrum. Your Excellency, if the case of Mr. Diko was understandable because it was carried out by a military regime, that of Nnamdi Kanu is inexplicable and unjustifiable under a democratic government, headed by your good self and which operates under a written constitution that guarantees fundamental rights, the rule of law, and the enforcement of duly ratified international treaties. So, my dear listeners, now I've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section